Once upon a time, in the ancient land of Israel, there was a great and powerful army known as the Philistines. They assembled their forces for war and camped at the border of Judah, challenging the Israelites. Among the Philistine warriors was a giant named Goliath. He stood over 9 feet tall, wore a bronze helmet and carried a massive spear. His armor gleamed in the sun, striking fear into the hearts of all who saw him. Every day for 40 days, Goliath came forward and shouted his challenge to the Israelites. "Why do you come out and line up for battle? Choose a man and have him come down to me. If he is able to fight and kill me, we will become your subjects. But if I overcome him and kill him, you will become our subjects and serve us." The Israelites were terrified. None dared to face the giant. In a nearby village, there lived a young shepherd named David. He was the youngest of 8 brothers and spent his days tending his father's sheep. David was small in stature but brave and full of faith. One day, his father sent him to the battlefield to deliver food to his brothers who were in the Israelite army. When David arrived, he heard Goliath's challenge and saw the fear in the eyes of the Israelite soldiers. David was outraged that this Philistine defied the armies of the living God. He asked, "Who is this uncircumcised Philistine that he should defy the armies of the living God?" Word of David's boldness reached King Saul, who summoned him. David stood before Saul and said, "Let no one lose heart on account of this Philistine. Your servant will go and fight him." Saul looked at David, astonished. "You are not able to go out against this Philistine and fight him. You are only a young man, and he has been a warrior from his youth." Saul, seeing David's faith, agreed. He dressed David in his own tunic, put a coat of armor on him, and a bronze helmet on his head. David tried to walk, but was not used to them. "I cannot go in these," he said, "because I am not used to them." So he took them off. Instead, he took his staff in his hand, chose 5 smooth stones from the stream, put them in the pouch of his shepherd's bag, and with his sling in hand approached Goliath. Goliath saw David coming and sneered, "Am I a dog that you come at me with sticks?" The Philistine cursed David by his gods. "Come here," he said, "and I will give your flesh to the birds and the wild animals." David said to Goliath, "You come against me with sword and spear and javelin, but I come against you in the name of the Lord Almighty, the God of the armies of Israel, whom you have defied. This day the Lord will deliver you into my hands, and I'll strike you down and cut off your head. This very day I will give the carcasses of the Philistine army to the birds and the wild animals, and the whole world will know that there is a God in Israel." As Goliath moved closer to attack, David ran quickly toward the battle line to meet him. Reaching into his bag, he took out a stone, slung it, and struck the Philistine on the forehead. The stone sank into his forehead, and Goliath fell face down on the ground. David triumphed over the giant with a sling and a stone. Without a sword in his hand, he struck down the Philistine and killed him. The Israelite army, seeing their champion fallen, surged forward with a great shout and chased the fleeing Philistines. David's victory over Goliath was celebrated throughout the land, and he became a hero among his people. The story of David and Goliath has been told and retold for generations, a timeless reminder that faith and courage can overcome even the greatest of challenges.